Crossover! No, you doofus, you don't need to search for the nearest bridge. Araknie here will bring you Battletoads and Double Dragon. It's finally here. After the pain of the original, I finally took the plunge and explored more of this series. I also tried getting into Battletoads in Battlemaniacs, but I discovered it's basically a remake, reboot, demake of the original. It tricks you with new graphics, but it's just a few, not all of the stages from the original, but reworked and with new music. I mean, both games released in 1993, how else do you think they managed that? Back on track, what's this all about? Nothing too special. The plot just uses the Black Queen as an excuse for her to rally troops from planet Earth. Since these two franchises, for reasons unknown, happen both in the same universe, the troops are all of the Double Dragon villains. A story of convenience. The first on this channel. Stuff has to happen like this because otherwise the game couldn't happen. It's a bit cynical and sad, but it's a pretty common plot device for crossover games. Even to this day. What they could have done? I'll come up with something on the spot, meaning that I'll improvise a short plot. Let me think a second. Well, the Black Queen could have brainwashed the people of Earth, and I don't know. Evil nature ones are attracted to her. For affinity or something, the villains from the Double Dragon series go to her like flies. There, not that hard. I don't know what I said yet, but I hope I kept it short, otherwise I'll be horribly wrong, and that's fine. First take, it's going in. Gameplay time! First things first, let's clear something that might be confusing. You have the Battletoads and the Lee brothers for a total of 5 characters, but you need to finish the game twice only to get the full experience, because the frogs play the same and the humans also between each other. As you'd expect from the 16-bit jumping technology, you also get better controls. I know you're not used to this today, but this was the demand back then. Video games had to get better or gamers didn't buy anything because they still remembered about the infamous crash. Games had to run well enough or they would be ignored. A game could be boring as fuck, but if it looked fantastic and ran at 60 FPS, it could even be an easy 10 out of 10 on the right conditions. Today people, just please remember to not buy games at launch. Stop being beta testers, come on now. But this game is a notable improvement over that confused trash fire of the original. Also because every hit feels heavy and sometimes hitboxes are generous. You just need to get close enough for the game to say, oh, whatever the fuck, who cares, you've hit the guy, I'll give it to you. What happened, Battletoads? You're not the same anymore. You've become gentle. So it's amazing to do everything. They added even more personality to every single movement and attack. From the horrible looking frogs you'd expect that. You can do a lot from what you've seen, but I'm glad they did a lot with Imbo and Dingo too, or whatever the hell they are called, I always forget. Fun movement, responsive controls and some interesting platforming too in parts. And this time the game is really a beat 'em up. Let's go! Champions of the world! Nobody will defeat us! There's some little variations on the team, but I can say with confidence that a large majority of the time is spent destroying the body and the mind of everybody around you, with variations and joyful activities. And I like the different additions they made this time. How about that? First of all, they brought back a little bit of turbo tunnel, but it's simple and doable without making it go slow. The little grappling section has become a level with platforming, grabbing of turrets and liana jumping that even Tarzan will be proud, while keeping a few guided sections that don't bother much like in the original because of the added variety, and only another in the form of a shoot 'em up that also references asteroid. You make progress while destroying space rocks and they've added to it also a stage spaceship boss too. What a nice homage, it controls even incredibly better than any official version of the arcade game. What a flex. So what's the problem? They've made a huge mistake, deciding to be nostalgic about not having invincibility frames. Why keep this? Because deep inside Rare always liked to make video games about friction. Titles where you have to move around your limitations to avoid damage, and I don't like that. There will be some unique cases that made that work, but the Battletoads series ain't that one. I genuinely hate being hit and then being hit again immediately without the possibility to respond. If you're lucky, you might escape damage by jumping, but it's not something that always works. If you just try to punch back, 90% of the time you're just gonna get hit instead. Like I said, friction. It's one of those games where you have to spend an entire moment practicing it before you even get remotely decent. I'm not a fan of pure trial and error design. I tolerate the one that has hints and ways to understand weaknesses of your enemy. That's a fair compromise that obviously isn't present in a game like this. I always try to adapt to the games I play. I don't force my taste on it. I don't pretend to play Final Fantasy IX and I become suddenly angry that it doesn't work like Ultima Underworld. That wouldn't make any sense. But Battletoads and Double Dragon just hits you for trying to even stand up. Too much. It's a pity because the variety of the enemies and their actions is pretty fun too. Like I said earlier, you do different finishers on different freaks and the same they do to you. Grab and kick them, launch them, pick a stick and make them part of the ground. Run towards them while growing gigantic horns and make them feel the air of the stratosphere. All the usual stuff, you know. But yeah, there's plenty, it's impressive and keep a good variety of pace and freshness. I played 2 times and felt like there was still room for experimentation. For example, if you push somebody in the ground but leave their head out, you can charge attack and kick them out for a special bonus of points. And many more, but you don't have like 7 to 8 or maybe 9 days of time now, do you? Or was it 1 hour? Oh, same thing. And bosses all come equipped with their own set of moves, so have fun getting carb stumped. Don't worry, you'll die plenty, and probably learn nothing in the first 10 playthroughs. Have fun! Each one of them has a special attack pattern and some involve a butt stomping. This is just the beginning of Rareware's obsession with asses. It will get weirder and weirder, don't you worry about that one. Also, we need to talk about the art style, because this grody stuff rules. I like how everybody looks like they have muscles growing on every single part of their body. It makes me want to punch them more. Even the more fat monsters seem like they have muscles on their belly. Nasty. Let me punch you until you explode in a variety of pieces. Oh, much better now. But yeah, these colors are a perfect combination of vivid and dark. I don't know how else to explain it. This for me is one of the styles that work into making something really nasty without making it grey. Good choices all around. Musically is a masterpiece. It would be simpler to tell you what track I don't like than what I enjoy, so instead I'm gonna talk instruments. I like the samples, they are very high quality. Especially the drums and the bass, because they give it that full soundscape that really goes from ear to ear, enveloping your mind in a sensation of music that goes all around you. A rare feeling on Super Nintendo. Also the guitar has that distorted quality that really works with the visuals. And when that isn't there, they made use of a good synth, an obligatory tool in every action game that wants to give you gravitas, in my opinion. So concluding, what do I think about this? That finally I like a game in a series enough to give Battletoads and Double Dragon even a 7 out of 10. Getting punched around without being able to respond was hugely detrimental to what could have been an instant classic. But they told me I might like a specific game in the series that not many people know about. We'll see. If you wanna see me play the games that I will review plus some extra stuff, catch me on Twitch at Araknie Retro. It's my natural habitat, you see? Until next time, ciao ciao!